Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Study tasting room.
Tasting. What are we tasting today?
Unfortunately, this is one that only we can taste.
Oh.
Or people that come to our house.
Why?
Because it was a private select flavor from last Christmas.
Oh, a rarity.
But I think it's a good indicator that if you see something labeled something fancy that sounds like it piques your interest, you should pick it up while you have the chance.
If you see something, say something. No, that's
buy
not
something.
it. Buy something.
So as we've talked about before, Maker's Mark Private Select is where they take the standard Maker's Mark and then they put it in a barrel with the 10 staves.
Right,
of all the different types, and that makes the individual recipe to create these different things.
But they're retiring one of the staves to create a new one. Is this pre-retirement?
It is, but it is, but this particular blend didn't have any
use that?
anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if we're talking about the Susie S'mores and More, that one does have the roasted French mocha, which was retired.
So Maker's Mark has like a series of 10 staves that they add to make their different various private select things, and they have just recently decided they're retiring one of those staves specifically, and so like one will replace it. But if you don't understand what that means,
they did replace it with another French wood that has a similar flavor profile to the French mocha. My assumption is that French mocha wood was literally just like too scarce. For them to be able to offer it as part of the program anymore.
Well, this should be interesting.
Yeah, so this one is called Caramel Apples. We'll see how that delivers on flavor.
Sometimes they name stuff and it has nothing to do with flavor profile or anything like that.
Yeah, so we do have Susie S'mores and More, and we do have Panna Cotta, which I feel like both of those sort of fill in those gaps. Susie S'mores and More is toasty and does have those little cocoa notes, and the Panna Cotta has that like creamy, buttery flavor. So logic would tell us that caramel apples should taste like
logic would tell us that, but let's see what my mouth says.
Oh, well, okay, so the Maker's Mark Caramel Apples is a private select. It is 111.1 proof.
You know how I could tell that? Strong. From the sniff I just took.
It's not a standard Maker's Mark product.
It hurts up here.
It is much stronger than that, and it sort of all goes by the numbers here. The alcohol, 55.5%, which translates to 111.1 proof. And for this blend, they use 4 Baked American Pure, 3 Seared French Cuvée, 3 Maker's 46, and that's it. They don't use any of the French mocha and no French spice.
Okay.
So this shouldn't be very spicy in the baking spice department because they don't use any of that wood.
You know what's funny? Not funny. You know what's a thing? All hand dipped, and Jill and I have hand dipped a bottle.
We have dipped.
Because we went to
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
We dip. I will tell you, it does smell like caramel apples.
Yeah, well, and I almost feel like with Private Select, they taste. So they go into a fancy room in that cave, the like limestone cave that we saw, and they have the people who go in and do their own Private Select have a lot of money, first of all, and second, they try individually ones that have been aged with 10 of the one type of wood, 10 of the other type of wood, 10 of this type of wood. So that's how
they can see how that wood affects the specific Maker's Mark.
Exactly.
So, interesting. Okay.
So they set up the 5 different types of wood versions, and then they wrapper and blend from there.
I didn't know that.
So that's how they decide, well, I want it to be 40% this type of wood, 20% this
that makes a lot of sense. So does that mean like once somebody decides what they want, they don't necessarily have to wait forever amount of time because they already have those bourbons aged and whatever, so they're like, okay, pull 40%?
No. At that point, after they decide the flavor profile of how it ages the whiskey, they would then dump Maker's
interesting. Okay.
Plain old Maker's Mark doesn't honestly appeal to me that much, but I love all of these weirdo combination ones.
Me too. Yeah. Well, let's try this weirdo. Let's try this, weirdo. I just want to be clear so you know it was you were the weirdo and not this is the weirdo.
It's not apple
It's got burn.
forward.
It's got burn.
Yeah, it's not apple forward. It definitely has the caramel flavors though.
Yeah.
It delivers on that. The fruit is like way at the back.
I actually don't. I like it though.
Yeah. I just don't know that it specifically delivers on caramel apples the way that Susie S'mores and More
If you called this
delivers on
caramel delight, I think I would have been
board.
like, wow,
yeah, exactly.
this is great.
100% caramel delight.
Yeah.
It's low on the fruit flavors.
Yeah, I don't really even get the fruit. I mean, like, you're right. Like, it's on the very back of the palate.
Yeah, it's really good, but I definitely wouldn't have called it
I definitely don't even make an apple. I get like cherry or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, huh?
No fruits. Low fruits.
What's the ramekins?
Popcorn.
What kind of popcorn is this?
This is caramel popcorn.
It's real good with the caramel popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they should have just named it Caramel Afternoon or something.
Like afternoon delight?
Yeah.
Caramel afternoon.
I think I like that it's over 100 proof. You don't see a lot of Maker's Mark that is, unless it's specifically like the Maker's Full Strength or the Maker's 101. So I appreciate that. Susie S'mores is 110.
Susie S'mores is 110. This is 111.
Yeah, but if you notice, so if we're looking at the comparison between private selects, so this one uses everything up the front of the list. Susie uses everything down the back of the list. So this one's heavy on the French mocha and the spice. This one has no French mocha and spice.
Now this one was exclusive to Florida, you said, right?
This one was, actually these were both from the same store at the same time.
And they were both made for that store.
They were both made for that store. Lookins down by Tampa, Dunedin has, last year they had 5 Christmas holiday flavors. They had the Susie S'mores, caramel apples, Christmas cookie, the panna cotta, and there was like one other. They were all like holiday themed.
Was the panna cotta holiday theme? I thought you got that
we
one
got
at
panna
the thing.
cotta, not the creme brulee.
Creme brulee. The creme brulee, that's
Creme
right, yeah. That's cool.
So yeah, I was like, I gotta sniff this one now.
Does it smell like s'mores?
It does.
I don't believe you.
It has cocoa smells.
You're correct. I don't believe
I think that the moral of the story with Maker's private selections is, if you try one, Susie S'mores, caramel apples, whatever, and you're like, I love this so much.
Buy more of it immediately.
Go back to the store
and
buy more of that, because you literally can never get it again once it's gone. Susie S'mores, this is all we got, so we got to ration that. But yeah, definitely don't sleep on picking up more of it if you're like, oh my god, this is my favorite bourbon I've ever tried, because you literally cannot buy it again.
I want to hear if anyone out there has had a Maker's Mark, like a private select, that they've like loved or tried, and they were like, oh, this was so good. I'd just be curious what the flavor was, what it was called, where you got it. Yeah.
Oh, this is the other thing that we should know as we approach the holidays. But if you love something like Evan Williams, Elijah Craig, all these things, they all do Christmas gift sets. And there is no difference in price between the bottle by itself and the gift set.
The gift sets are the better value because you get it's like free with purchase.
They give you flasks, they give you mugs and cups and glasses. As we start to get into this season where they roll out all the holiday sets, there's no difference. They cannot mark up the holiday set more than the regular bottle. So that will always be exactly like if you go to Total Wine and there's like Jack Daniels with like a big highball Jack and Coke mixer, whatever.
Same exact price. Because they don't always put the price near it, but
yeah, it always has to be the same price as the bottle. So if you give the gift away, if you keep the gift for yourself, give the bottle away, or you just keep the whole thing, doesn't matter. Look for those gift sets.
Look for it. Let us know if you find any cool gift sets too, because there's been some cool ones out there. So if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. We do have a Patreon site where if you want to help us keep us in our drinking habits, we're trying to buy some new equipment. So we really appreciate the support on there. We have some exclusive content that is patreon.com/thebourbonstudy.
And if you like bourbon in general, get yourself some high quality caramel corn.
Oh, the caramel, yeah. The caramel corn with the, it's one of those things, if you're buying somebody a bottle of bourbon this holiday season, maybe just throw in the caramel corn or You know, we like
little caramels too.
we like the caramel, the candies. There's the chocolates.
balls.
Yeah.
The balls.
So, anybody have any questions about anything? The balls. If anybody has any questions about any holiday gifts, just please feel free to let us know. I'll happily answer any of those questions. But
I've been answering those questions for my mother for years.
For years.
And then she goes, my boss he's into bourbon. What do I get him? Last year she got him the 1792. He loved it. Then for his birthday, she got the Russell's 10.
Nope, there you go.
Love that too.
So questions away. Thank you everybody for watching us. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.